Thanks for your patience. This video was intended to be the last video for 2025, but because Garvor Boy had a winter break, it was pushed back to 2026. He's back to making videos again. Throughout the winter break, he transitioned from the Switch 1 to the Switch 2. Progress went smoothly. All of the data from the Switch 1 has been transferred to the Switch 2. Not only that, he has 4 Switch Pro controllers. 2 from the Switch 1 and 2 for the Switch 2. For your information, his final video for 2025 was Veterans Day 2025 Special, Great Fray Cutting Room Floor. That was going to be his second to last video for 2025, but because December 2025 was very busy, he has decided to push back the 2025 channel news video to 2026. Now that we are into 2026, it's time to recap the channel moments from last year. This will be my first video for 2026. Enjoy! Reporting from Blueberry Academy in Unova, I'm Garvor Boy. Since my real-life counterpart hasn't experienced any family-related deaths in 2025, we can jump straight to the video moments. Before we get started, here are the live stream moments he'll share on this channel. To celebrate Easter on his channel, he did a playthrough of Mega Man: The Wily Wars. That game featured 60-bit remasters of the first 3 Mega Man games with a mini-game bonus of Wily Tower after those 3 games are completed. To celebrate his channel's 15th anniversary, he did a live stream of Double Dragon on Sega Genesis. Thanks to various patches online, he was able to play Double Dragon on Sega Genesis just like the arcade original. And before we get to his YouTube moments, there are lifetime moments I will talk about. Yes, he did Candor for a White Mass and was the only person to represent Grateful Hearts. There were no live stream moments unfortunately, but he did Candor. I need to mention that his once-in-a-lifetime Easter video he accidentally deleted has returned after explaining to the Google team everything about that video. He also reached 4,000 subscribers very shortly before he turned 34. He has made 6 shorts. With those out of the way, here are his 2025 YouTube video moments. After a half-month hiatus celebrating Christmas in 2024, he was happy to make videos again. It was recorded at a different house where his siblings were living at. Other than losing 3 people, he had a great 2024. He made a Round 2 Tiger's Eye impersonation video. He felt disappointed with his first Jason Bourne impersonation after he found out that Tiger's Eye's first English voice sounded akin to Elliot Rodger in his later years. That's why he made a second version. He considered his second version better because he enjoyed Tiger's Eye acting akin to a Saturday morning cartoon villain. He considers it the funnier version of Tiger's Eye, and that's how Tiger's Eye was meant to act in the first place. drank just about every uniform in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet possible, and preferred the UVA Academy Summer uniform because that's an underrated uniform and doesn't get much attention. Not to mention that it had a much better design than the Naranja Academy uniform, as it looked very comfortable in his opinion. His first FL Studio arrangement for 2025 was City Lights from Street Fighter 2010. He got better with making Wily Wars style arrangements after finding various sound fonts that sound true to music in Wily Wars. This is one of the few songs that is very likely to be outdated. Another very likely outdated song is Flash in the Dark from Mega Man 9. He liked Trek's arrangement of that song because it reminded him of how Wily Wars songs were done in that game because they sounded more serious compared to their 8-bit originals. His third FL Studio arrangement for 2025 is Napalm Man, originally from Mega Man 5. This remix was based on the Power Battles version, but graded it C+, as he found better sound fonts that has instruments sounding just about the same as the Wily Wars game. Five months and a day after his sister's 32nd birthday, he made a Super Punch-Out single segment video, combining all 4 parts of his videos uploaded on August 22nd, 2022 into one. He beat the entire game with a perfect 16-0 win. He was very satisfied with the video result overall. His fourth FL Studio song in 2025 was his Chojin Sentai Jetman stage select with Wily Wars-like instruments. He intended to match the stage select instruments from the first 3 Mega Man titles and Wily Tower in Wily Wars. The majority of his 2025 YouTube videos were Sailor Moon themed videos such as Viz Media dub versions of clips uploaded by other YouTubers. He did this to respect the copyright holders of Sailor Moon such as Toei Animation and Viz Media. Anyways, the first Sailor Moon clip he uploaded was a Viz dub version of Sailor Moon Villains Argue, Sailor Moon by Sailor Mini-Moon. He recognizes that the Viz dub is nearly identical to the Japanese dub in context. Gar4 Boy's Fish I Want Some Guys video is a Viz Media version of the same name by Sailor Moon Says. As he said, he's sticking to the Viz Media dub because he's aware that it is the only Sailor Moon in English people are better off watching. Anyway, this is a sample of Fisheye taking pride in his femininity, which was no wonder many international cultural gatekeepers got fooled. His Tiger Side of the Failure video is a Viz Media version of the Amazon Trio and Riding Off into the Sunset by Sailor Mars Says, combined into one. He enjoys Tigerside's camp because that's what makes Tigerside the character that he is. He liked the James-like portrayal of Tigerside anyway. God4 Boy considers the Sailor Moon Super S Viz dub Maharu's Dream Mirror Tigerside video by Dirk Gaming obsolete because this user's version is pitched down to its default key and speed. God4 Boy's Fisheye is a Shotacon video, is a Viz dub version of the same video by Sailor Mars Says. God4 Boy was lucky doing the whole scene as a result of using the Viz Media dub. God4 Boy's Tigerside the Charming Guy video is from the Viz Media dub. He didn't like the masculinized version of Tigerside in the Cloveway dub because it made him act as a bully and a psychopath, making him a love-to-hate character. It didn't help that the creepy actions he did was no wonder he made it to one of the 10 spots for Joanna Wynn's 10 most unlikable Sailor Moon characters fans still can't stand. His Tigerside the Creepy Guy video is a Viz Media version of Tigerside the Creepy Guy by Sailor Moon Says. Like he said before, he'd prefer the John Eric Bentley voice because that goofy voice is what makes Tigerside the character that he is. God4 Boy's Pour on the Charm video was renamed Rei Hino Ignores Tigerside. He chose the Viz Media dub because the camp was more appropriate for Tigerside than the entire show. He was happy Viz Media took Sailor Moon very seriously, treating the new version as a Japanese anime instead of a Looney Tunes style cartoon, despite the Cloveway dub being aired throughout 2000. God4 Boy's Tigerside Fisheye Sacrifice video is a Viz Media dub version of the French dub uploaded by Sailor Moon Nostalgia. Sailor Moon wasn't the same when Fisheye became female in the Cloveway dub, so he is grateful that Viz Media decided to leave him alone. And also, hearing Tigerside and Fisheye say "not yet" felt heartwarming to him because he was happy that Viz Media let Tigerside and Fisheye remain as they were in the original Japanese version. The Nilo Pisa's death of the Amazon Trio video is from the Japanese dub, while the Sailor Mars Says version is from the Cloveway dub. He chose the Viz Media dub just because it's the best alternative to the Japanese original. He grew up watching dubbed anime anyway. While the Amazon Trio's time to shine was short-lived in the manga, it was made up for in the anime. God of War Boy's channel has reached 4,000 subscribers shortly before his 34th birthday. To celebrate, he talked about fisheye on April Fool's Day. He chose that date because out of the 4 Sailor Moon characters to have suffered an identity crisis, Fisheye was the most well-known. That is because he wore feminine clothing and went after boys, which fooled many people, including the cultural gatekeepers in the West. Hanko's voice has changed between various adaptations of Sailor Moon. In the Japanese original, Hanko was voiced by Mami Matsui. In the Cloverway dub, she was voiced by Deborah Drakeford, the same woman who did Fisheye. In the current English adaptation, she was voiced by Nika Futterman. He could tell that Nika Futterman did Ponko because he remembered what Styx the Badger sounded like. After rating every NTSC adaptation of Sailor Moon possible, he chose the Viz Media dub as the winner. He did not approve the Cloverway dub for Tiger's Eye being an anime version of L.A. Roger and Fisheye being a feminine tomboy. What laid the Deke dub back from its full approved status was the censorship. He didn't mind the Japanese original, but it was nothing special anymore now that the Viz Media dub of Sailor Moon exists. Growing up watching dubbed anime anyway, that's why he chose the Viz Media dub. God of War Boy has compared 2 English voices of Tiger's Eye. He wasn't happy with the first voice because from his viewpoint, it was L.A. Roger in anime form. Jason Barr didn't know at 13, so God of War Boy forgave him for unintentionally sounding like a real-life shooter. The second voice, in his opinion, suited Tiger's Eye perfectly. His Viz dub voice combines elements of his Japanese original and the Pokemon Company International dub of Pokemon. God of War as a human welcomed God of War Boy on YouTube. He was happy God of War Boy came back home. Life on average has been great. He got over a worker with a strict attitude and now has a worker with a humbly honest attitude. Coming home from spring break, he has decided to play Wily Wars for Easter. It featured pixelated remasters of the first 3 Mega Man games and Wily Tower with Sonic the Hedgehog-style remixes of those songs. On average, Kinyo Yamashita did a good job making serious-sounding arrangements of Mega Man 1-3 songs. The worst of them all was Wily Boss for Mega Man 3, while the best one, in his opinion, was Hardman beating Bubble Man after seeing the D major 7th chord before the song started over again. God of War Boy's Top Banana from the Viz Media dub is a sample of Sailor Moon clips he used on his channel. In this scene, Hawkseye decides to go after Natsumi Ichinose, the best of the older woman. That's because she's a mechanic and still too old for Tiger's Eye's taste. His Natsumi Ichinose gets captured by Hawkseye video is a Viz dub version of Natsumi Ichinose vs. Hawkseye uploaded by Jadeite Nick Swag. Natsumi Ichinose's Biz Media dub voice was Debbie Derryberry. As he said before, he's sticking to the Viz dub for copyright reasons, and it's also the only English dub of Sailor Moon available to watch. None of these NTSC dubs interest me. I couldn't agree more. I wish there was one of the Soul Sword bunch that got me even remotely motivated. Yeah, I'm with you there. For Mother's Day, he talked about Hawkseye. He chose that date because the targets he went after were older women, and that's the day to celebrate the motherly figures who have helped children grow. At the end of the video, he paid homage to the motherly figures who helped inspire God of War Boy to become the person that he is. Darkwing Duck had a lost level featuring Negative. The original game had only one song reused from the Game Boy game Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That was the Game Over theme. For the advanced hack that adds an 8th level, it featured a pitch-fixed and tempo-corrected NES remix of Doom's Mansion from Roger Rabbit on Game Boy. God of War Boy has made 2 different remixes for Sunset the Evil Demon Queen. The song is a remix of Fall Bowser from Super Mario 64, but the song is arranged and transposed to the key of Golbez Clad in Dark. The 5th FL Studio song made in 2025 was the original SNES remix, while the 7th FL Studio song in 2025 was the PSP arranged version. For Memorial Day, he has uploaded pitch and tempo fixed music of Roger Rabbit on Game Boy. Mega Man World 2 was the other game that featured ear-piercing music. Overall, he did a very good job. His 5th Wily War style arrangement was Windman from Mega Man 6. While that is not guaranteed to be the final version of Windman from Mega Man The Sequel Wars, that was just a prediction. For Father's Day, despite the video being uploaded on the day after, he wanted to fight every boss with only a Blastoise. The hardest opposing Pokemon were trainers who had Water-type and Electric Pokemon. The second prediction for Sequel Wars is the Robot Master Selected theme for Mega Man 4. While it already had an arrangement, it was very likely to be exclusive for Episode Red. Butterfly Boy's arrangement of Green Hill Zone from Sonic Drift was done in the style of Shadow Man's theme in the Wily Wars version of Mega Man 3. While it had nothing to do about Golfer Boy's channel, he made a new World Champion theme arranged to the Johto Champion theme. He felt like that was appropriate instead of the Kanto theme because you are fighting the final boss who is a player and has played Pokemon from the very beginning. AI has been causing confusion and controversy. He made a speech to calm down people, knowing that it's not going to replace them, but to enlighten them. He hopes that people use artificial intelligence with good and modest intentions, even if it is used for entertainment purposes. Celebrating 15 years of his channel, he wanted to upload a 4K 60 frames per second video of this video that he forgot to upload the day he started YouTube. This is him fighting the Shadow Boss. Fun fact, Billy will fight Jimmy Lee if the second player survives at the end of the game. After 10 attempts, he finally defeats the Shadow Boss. Labor Day was finally the day he was able to talk about Tiger's Son. He's been waiting since Easter for this, and he was happy he was able to talk about the character and end his Amazon Trio character profile series. Because it was the finale, he also talked about the Amazon Trio's redemption. As he said before, he prefers the Viz Media dub because not only that it's easier to watch, but it's also the only English dub available today. To add what he said before, he likes the Viz dub Tiger's Eye because he acts as a flamboyant trickster, and that's how Tiger's Eye was done in the original Japanese version. As a response to Nickelodeon Lovers 2007's Eric Brand's 49 Sailor Moon Deacon Clover dub video, Golfer Boy did the complete opposite of that, but with the Viz Media dub. He knew that the Viz Media dub of Sailor Moon was inevitable, and even if there was no Deacon Clover dub of Sailor Moon, it was going to get an uncut and uncensored English dub by Viz Media either way. Even so, he was very happy with everything that came in the Viz Media dub of Sailor Moon. The Sonic Racing Cross Worlds DLC Smash Fest was a high-energy, fan-driven tribute blending crossover chaos with competitive flair, featuring 3 licensed by Sega video game characters appearing in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Between Mega Man, Pac-Man, and Steven, Mega Man won them all. He swept all battles and had no losses. God War Boy's Veterans Day video, despite coming the day after, featured unused and cutting room floor content from his multi-year Veterans Day Great Race Smash Bros. Tournament series. It revisits moments from 2020 to 2024, showing alternate endings, missed recaps, and special commentary that didn't make the final cut. One Veterans Day alternate ending featured an impressive Deborah Drakeford fisheye impression by Beth Dominique. As December 2025 was very busy, the Veterans Day video was his final video for 2025. That's all he has for 2025 moments. His 2025 videos were restricted for the later part of 2025. He wanted to get used to his Inspiron 15 laptop before he can make videos again. Now that we are into 2026, he is enjoying his Inspiron 15 laptop and the Switch 2. Until next time, this is Godful Boy signing off. God bless you all and have a blessed 2026.